All right, so Brent Plater, why don't you give us your perspective?
Well, Ian, I think what we need to do is take a mulligan at Sharp Park. And what I mean by that is we need to take another shot at building a better park, a park that can stimulate Pacifica's economy, a park that will protect our environment, and ultimately a park that will create a better recreational open space so that everyone can enjoy it. Because as you know, right now, the golf course is beset by numerous problems. It's losing money, it needs millions of dollars of capital investment, and when you survey the Sharp Park golfers, they give the golf course failing grades in nearly every category that the National Golf Foundation measures. We can do better than that. We have an opportunity to close Sharp Park Golf Course and turn Sharp Park into a national park. When we do that, what we'll get is a community-centered model of outdoor education, outdoor recreation, endangered species recovery, and natural flood control. And Pacifica will obtain the only San Mateo County Visitor Center for the Golden Gate National Recreation Area's lands. This will be an asset to the community with national and international appeal. Moreover, we know that golf is already overbuilt in the Bay Area, and because of this, some golf courses are going to close. If we keep subsidizing Sharp Park, a poor quality golf course, our better golf courses will close instead, and the game as a whole will suffer. Immediately upon closure, we can obtain thousands of dollars in savings for the golf program, which we can then reinvest in our other municipal courses, making golf better off for everybody.
Let's try to answer the question, does Sharp Park Golf Course make money, and can it be expected to make money into the future?
Well, Sharp Park loses between $30,000 and $300,000 every year to the Golf Fund alone, and that doesn't include the millions of dollars of subsidies it takes from other pots of money from San Francisco taxpayers. It takes, and we already know we have on the books $8 million to deliver water to the course, $32 million in improvements to the berm to shore that up so the golf course doesn't get flooded again. So we're talking extraordinary amounts of money to keep a golf course which is underperforming. Even if you only look at the Golf Fund alone, it loses between, as I mentioned, $30,000 to $300,000 a year. The controller's report said this past fiscal year it lost $40,000. That's money we could spend at Lincoln and other golf courses to make our golf courses better.
Okay, well, I'm guessing the folks on the side of the room might have a different idea of the numbers. So why don't you
those
give your
numbers are
perspective?
kind of like a floating crap game as far as I'm concerned. I've been looking at the figures along with Dave Diller, the president of the Sharp Park Golf Club, and none of these figures are ever the same, nor are they constant. So, as you say, it's 42,000 now. It's like the carrot in front of the rabbit. If we come up with 41,000, it'll be 52.5. It really, these numbers are just numbers and that. So we need to really test the waters. Don't believe everything you hear, and certainly not half of what you see. That's all I have to say.
The controller's report does not say what Mr. Plater says. It speaks for itself. We have it on the website. And the 2008 San Francisco Controller's Report shows that 3 of the last 4 years it made substantial amount of money. Mr. Plater is misstating those figures. We've talked with the Controller's office about that.
The figures have been sent not only by the Controller's office, but also by the Planning Department, by Recreation and Parks Department Main Planner Don Kamalanathanan, and also by the Harvey Rose, the budget analyst for San Francisco. Every single one of these reports has found that Sharp Park loses money, and moreover, they found that unless we invest millions of dollars in capital improvements into Sharp Park, the entire golf course, both at Sharp Park and at Lincoln, will result in total economic failure because they've run down so poorly.
Well, now I did a little bit of homework here, and I did look up the what's it called? I forget the name of the report, but it said they expected it would take $18 million to bring the park up to speed. So far as the costs for bringing the golf course back, first I want to talk about Mr. Plater's calling it a poor quality golf course. The golfers are in complete disagreement with that. I understand why he wants to make that part of his argument, but that is not what the golfers say. That's not what any of the national golf organizations say. This is considered, because of its connection with Mackenzie and because of the great beauty of the course, this is considered a golf treasure nationwide and worldwide. And that's why the golfers are working so hard on this.
You know, let me say something. I don't know that much about the economics. I mean, I've seen some of the figures, and what I've heard, the 30 to 300,000, I've heard coming from San Francisco, and I can't help but think that we should show some respect to the city of San Francisco. It's their property. I'm sure they know how much it's losing. And obviously, Sharp Park and Lincoln wouldn't be a big issues with the Park and Rec department there, or this, you know, Open Space Committee, Prozac. This wouldn't be, those two golf courses wouldn't be an issue if they didn't have serious problems. And Lincoln, I don't know about, but all I know is Sharp Park. It's losing money. It's not even just the money that might be losing.
The losing money is not true.
Well, I'm just saying the money that's going to have to go in to take care of environmental mitigations, the flooding, and you know, there's people that want to, the golf course association or somebody wants to bring it up to the original McKinsey design, which, from what I read in studies, is between $12 to $14 million. I mean, this is. Then, of course, $8 to $9 million for a recycled water program. This is ridiculous. This is ludicrous to spend that much money. We have a much better opportunity than throw money away on this thing.
Well, the issue going on right now is the historical landmark designation, and I think we have. Well, we only have a short little time to talk about that, but can somebody have...
I'll speak to the criteria. Okay. The criteria for the historic landmark pursuant to Section 9, Chapter 7, 202 of the Pacifica article states that A, it exemplifies or reflects a significant element of the city's cultural, social, economic, political, aesthetic, engineering, architectural, geological, or archaeological history. B, it has special aesthetic or artistic interests or value due to elements of design, detail, material, or craftsmanship.
Hang on. You know what? We don't have time to go through all that.
Well, let's go. C, it is identified with historic persons or events,
Barbara,
and that's what it is.
Okay. We understand that, but that's not really the, just reading a list from that thing.
That's the criteria.
We have 30 seconds now for this side to talk about that, and then we have to roll in.
Mackenzie's status in the game.
Sharp Park is Mackenzie's greatest architectural and ecological mistake.
No golfer agrees
Every
with that.
problem that exists at Sharp Park today,
Just let us talk.
every problem that exists at Sharp Park today can be traced directly back to the original design, because the original design destroyed the natural protective barrier that kept Sharp Park from being inundated by the ocean. And when Mackenzie leveled that barrier and put links on the ocean and on the beach, that destroyed the opportunity to keep that place viable.
Okay, so we're down to our last closing remarks now, so I'd like to turn it over to Richard Harris. Your final...
What you have at Sharp Park, thanks to the golf course, instead of this, which is what it was before the golf course, or this, which it might have been, development, thanks to the world's greatest architect, you have this, which is a place where humans and nature meet, and nature can be preserved. And it has been here, and it can continue to be preserved using it as a golf course. And that is a park, and that is one of the functions that golf has. It introduces and commingles people with the nature.
Ron, what are your closing remarks?
Well, you know, I just want to point out the Golden Gate National Rec Area is our nation's largest urban park. The Park Service, with the assistance of the Conservancy, are very adept at integrating urban and natural area relationships. In regards to the park, if Sharp Park is converted to a national park, you know, it'll be integrated with the communities there, and it'll be like a central park. And also, the idea of having such a beautiful place like this that can't be developed, okay, have a place like this that is just for one use like this, these people, you know, one particular type of use, it's just a bad modality. It's not 21st century. We need to move ahead. We got to be proactive. We have a great opportunity here to convert this land to a multi-use place for a lot of people, for everybody, for a lot of things. And also, the Conservancy will put much time into protecting the endangered species there. This is a marvelous opportunity, and I think we need to embrace it.
Okay, and Brent, what else would you like to say?
I think what we've learned even tonight is that the status quo at Sharp Park simply can't hold. The golf course is losing too much money, it's harming too many endangered species, and it imposes too great of a flooding risk on the surrounding communities every year when it rains. We have an opportunity to do something more beautiful and more useful for everyone at Sharp Park by restoring Sharp Park and turning it into a national park. We can make a beautiful visitor center that doesn't exist in San Mateo County yet for the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, which would give Pacifica a national amenity for everybody to come and enjoy. And we can also preserve endangered species as well.